Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into an ancient text, a historical moment, really. It offers us this, well, fascinating glimpse into the enduring challenges of community living. And, the surprising evolution of some early disciplinary rules. Our mission isn't just to recount what happened, but to truly understand why this particular incident laid such a foundational stone for communal harmony in a way that I think still resonates today.
That's right. We're sifting through excerpts from Saṃghādisesa, 10.md. It's a source that vividly brings to life a pivotal moment in establishing monastic discipline. What's truly captivating here is how the actions of one individual, just one challenge to authority, actually catalyze the creation of a rule designed to protect the very fabric of an entire spiritual community. It's a testament to how practical problems often shape profound principles.
Right. So to really set the scene, let's transport ourselves back. We're talking ancient Savatthi.
Exactly. Specifically to Jetavana, which was located in Anathapindis, Arama.
And for those maybe less familiar, this wasn't just any garden, right? It was significant.
Oh, absolutely. Jetavana wasn't merely a backdrop. It was a vibrant central hub for the burgeoning monastic community. Think of it as a spiritual epicenter, a place where hundreds, maybe thousands of monastics lived, studied, practiced together.
Wow, okay. So density matters here.
Definitely. In such a dense and significant environment, maintaining order, promoting proper conduct, fostering genuine harmony, these were absolutely paramount. Any form of disruption there wouldn't just be a minor squabble. It would pose a direct threat to the stability and, frankly, the reputation of the entire saga, so the community itself.
And it's into this highly structured, very spiritual setting that our central figure steps in.
Here.
Thullanandā Bhikkhunī, a bhikkhuni, just to clarify, is a fully ordained Buddhist nun.
Correct.
And the story picks up with her already being admonished by the Saṃgha, meaning she'd done something that warranted disciplinary action for the community. But this is where the story takes a fascinating turn.
Indeed. What makes her case so intriguing is her reaction after being reprimanded. Instead of, reflecting or accepting the saga's admonition, Thullanandā actively chose to undermine it. She went to other bhikkhunīs and advised them to remain sasaha.
Which means?
To stay associated or mingled, and emphatically not to live nana, which means separate or isolated.
So she was basically telling them to ignore the whole process, the one designed for introspection and correction.
Precisely.
So she wasn't just defiant. She was actively trying to rally others against the saga's decision, creating a faction almost. And it gets more intense, right? What were her arguments for doing this?
Her arguments were quite strategic and pretty accusatory, actually. Thullanandā didn't just advocate for defiance, she launched a direct attack on the saga's credibility. She claimed that other bhikkhunīs within the saga exhibited papakara, papasada, papasaloka.
Okay, what does that break down to?
Essentially, having bad conduct, a bad reputation, and being the subject of bad reports or gossip. She also accused them of being bhikkhunī sagasa vihesika, meaning harmful to the bhikkhuni saga.
Harmful.
And anyamanisa vajjapaichadika, or concealing each other's faults.
Yeah.
Her core complaint was basically the saga did nothing about these individuals, implying a double standard.
That's a powerful accusation, questioning the saga's integrity directly, so she implied bias.
Precisely. She went even further. She alleged that the saga acted against her and other reprimanded bhikkhunīs out of unya parivavena akantya vipasya dubalya.
That sounds like a list. What do those mean?
It translates to a whole host of negative motivations: disrespect, contempt, impatience or anger, harshness, rudeness, and even weakness, like a lack of power.
Wow.
And what's even more telling, perhaps, is that she twisted the saga's actual praise of viveka.
Viveka, seclusion, separation, often seen as good for practice.
Exactly. She twisted that to support her disruptive advice, essentially arguing, you praise seclusion for some, but punish it for others, which proves your bias. It was a really direct challenge to their moral authority.
It sounds almost like, I don't know, an ancient form of a political attack within a spiritual community. So what was the ripple effect? This kind of open rebellion. What happened next?
Well, her actions didn't go unnoticed. The Apicca bhikkhunīs, those of few wishes or desires, the ones who really valued proper conduct and discipline, they were deeply displeased.
Understandably.
They complained, and their complaints quickly reached the Buddha himself.
Okay. And how did the Buddha respond to this very public challenge to the saga's authority?
Upon confirming Thullananda's actions, the Buddha swiftly and unequivocally criticized her. He emphasized that such conduct was incredibly detrimental, not just failing to inspire confidence in those not yet faithful,
Right.
but also actively weakening the faith of those who already believed.
So it harmed the community internally and externally.
Exactly. This wasn't just a personal telling off. It was the spark that ignited a fundamental shift. A shift in how the monastic community would handle dissent and maintain internal cohesion. It led directly to the formulation of a new monastic rule,
The one we mentioned.
now known as Saṃghādisesa 10.
So this one incident led to a formal, codified rule. What exactly did this new rule entail? For a bhikkhuni who behaved like Thullanandā, what happened?
This rule was meticulously detailed. It provided a really clear procedure. If a bhikkhuni were to make statements encouraging others to disregard Saṃgha admonishments, or if she criticized the Saṃgha for bias disruptively, she wouldn't face immediate expulsion. Instead, there was a structured warning process.
Right.
First, other bhikkhunis who observed or heard her conduct were required to tell her to stop, a direct admonition, Maya eva avaka.
That's fascinating. It emphasizes rehabilitation, doesn't it? Correction over just immediate punishment. So what if she didn't listen to that first warning?
Exactly. The process was designed to give opportunities for self-correction. If she persisted after that first admonition, she was to be told a second time,
Okay.
and then a third time. This is known as yavatatiya samanupasitaba. The emphasis was on a clear, repeated warning.
So a three-strike rule, kind of. What happened if she finally did comply after, say, the second or third warning?
If, after these repeated admonitions, she abandoned her disruptive stance and complied, the term is panisajaya, it was considered kusala,
Meaning?
skillful or good. The issue would be resolved. No harm, no foul, essentially.
Okay.
However, if she did not abandon her stance after the third warning, then she had fully committed a yavatatiyaka dhamma apananisaranaya Saṃghādisesa.
That sounds serious.
It is. It means she incurred a serious Saṃghādisesa offense, one that specifically required nisarinya,
Which means?
essentially removal or exclusion from the Saṃgha's activities or place. Suspension, perhaps, is a way to think of it.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this specific rule is just one of 17 such Saṃghādisa offenses for bhikkhunis,
That's correct. 17 in total mentioned here.
which highlights just how seriously the community viewed internal discipline. And what's interesting, as you mentioned, is they weren't all treated the same way.
No, exactly. The text points out that 9 are pahamapatika.
Meaning, first offense incurs the penalty.
Yes, incurred upon the first commission of the act. But 8, including this one stemming from Thullananda's case, are yavatatiyaka.
Requiring the 3 warnings.
Right, requiring that third admonition before the offense is fully incurred. It allows for that crucial, multi-step chance to correct one's behavior.
So once such a serious offense was incurred, what were the consequences for the bhikkhuni? What did that removal look like in practice?
Well, a bhikkhuni who committed a Saṃghādisa offense had to undergo pakkamanate.
Pakamanat.
Yes, it's a period of penance or discipline, a kind of probation. And crucially, this penance had to be completed in the presence of both the Bhikkhuni Saṃgha and the Bhikkhu Saṃgha, both the nuns and the monks' communities.
So it wasn't a private matter at all.
No, it underscored the collective responsibility and oversight. And even after completing her penance, formal reinstatement required a saga of at least 20 bhikkhunis present.
Wow, 20 bhikkhunis, that's a significant quorum. Seems like a high bar.
It is, and the text is very clear. If the reinstatement was performed by a saga of fewer than 20, the reinstatement was deemed invalid.
Really, invalid.
Invalid, and those bhikkhunis who performed it were considered blameworthy. It just highlights the extremely strict procedural requirements put in place, not just for punishment, but for reintegration too. It was all designed to ensure the integrity and the continued harmony of the entire community. It wasn't just about punishing one person, it was about upholding the whole system.
What stands out to you most about this deep dive we've done? I mean, we've seen how the actions of one individual, Thullanandā, challenging the Saṃgha's authority, how that led to the creation of this meticulously defined rule for communal harmony and accountability. It's just such a powerful illustration of how early Buddhist monastic law evolved, directly from real-world challenges, moving from ad hoc responses to formalized systematic procedures.
Yeah, and this raises an important question, doesn't it? When you look at Thullananda's story, it's not just some historical anecdote. It's a timeless example, really, of how organized groups, whether it's religious orders, modern companies, even social clubs, grapple with that tension. The tension between individual expression and communal stability. How do you balance dissent with the need for unity? This ancient text shows an early community really trying to codify those boundaries, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, think about it. How do modern communities, whether they're religious, professional, social, how do they balance that need for individual expression, even criticism sometimes? Balance that with the demands of group unity and, well, disciplinary action when needed. What lessons maybe can we draw from this ancient text about navigating conflict when you share a common purpose, something to reflect on?